In today's video, we're going to hopefully uncover the mystery of the triple dark core. So in OU and in UU, you'll often see teams that have 3 dark types all on the same team, and that's supposed to be good for some reason. Now, usually that has to do with the dark types being broken, like Roaring Moon or King Gambit, and having good moves like Knockoff. So maybe it isn't just inherently universal that 3 dark types on a team is good, but maybe it is. Now, I had a Mold Breaker on my Basque Legion, but it looks like I'm going to immediately be regretting that decision to change back to adaptability. His Gastrodon is annoying to this team. However, the reason I changed was because this is fantastic, actually, I'll take it. The reason I changed was because Mold Breaker announces when you come out, and so it's annoying. Do I need to keep this? I don't. I am totally okay with getting rid of this. And my opponent does, they must have been choice banded. I don't know how much choice band does, but probably not that much. So my opponent must have been banded, not scarfed, and they switched it in for some reason. Okay. If they'd have been scarfed, I would have lost my Zoroark, but they would have gone down as well. Since it announces, I didn't like having Zoroark disguised as Basque Legion and then having the Mold Breaker. Once your opponent knows you have Mold Breaker, then nice crit there. Then you can't really do anything about it. They sort of know what the gig is about. Okay. Maybe I should be choice Scarf Zoroark if I'm going to run Trick, because now there's Gastrodon on his choice specs. But that's a risk we're willing to take. And I'm actually going to go hard Altaria here, because I can get off a defog here. Technically, I could Terra Steel on this, if I really felt the need. Do I feel the need? Let me see. I think Terra Steel does decently into this team. I'm going to defog with Terra Steel here, because I want to get rid of these. And they really don't want to switch, like, this messes up the Monkey Dory's game plan, now that I have a Steel type. Unfortunately, we missed the Will-O-Wisp on Bronzong, but it is what it is. And here, I'm going to go into a Mungus. Then I'm gonna go into Zoroark. That might not work out well for me, but I was thinking they might go for Psychic Noise there. And then here they're gonna be forced to switch because they don't want to take the Dark Pulse. That's smart on their part. Here we can just go into Altaria, I think. Because I figured they'd flip turn there, and I'd rather be with Altaria compared to Amoonguss. Because Amoonguss just lets Bronzong set up again. And then here, I always go Amoonguss. It would be cool to be like outspeeding the bulky Breloom and then... Ooh, the Terra Blast Fire, okay. I dig it. But, do they switch out here? I guess they do. Alright. Yeah, that's fun. And the Earth Power there. That's okay. I'm going to go for the Drain Punch here. Hopefully we take this. We are especially defensive. Actually, I'm going to bulk up here, in case they go into Tentacruel. Because Drain Punch into Tentacruel probably wouldn't do that much, so I wouldn't take that much Liquidies. But I think this puts me in a better position. And sort of wishing I had the Terra Poison for their Breloom. In hindsight, I did forget that I sort of wanted to keep that. Okay, yeah, they did go Tentacruel. Okay, that's fine. But what do you do to me? Don't do anything to me, so I can just force them to stay in there. And I lose my leftovers, but that's about it. Okay. So they went for Bullet Seed there. They lose their loaded dice. Yeah, I think I'm willing to sack this is the main point I'm going for here. I think I'll sack this. And if they're not Mach Punch last, then maybe Altaria can come out and like go for Brave Bird. But they could also be max speed. They probably are max speed. Altaria versus Breloom. I forgot about Hidden Power, Terra Blast Fire. Then use Swords Dance. Fire. Just to have it there, 45%. So we never would kill Adamant, but we would also not outspeed Adamant. Okay. So we're forced to go Basque Legion here. We'll go Altaria. I think in the worst case scenario they would go for the Bullet Seed. Right? And my opponent may feel that they are safe to make that play. But they go into Bronzong. That's okay. That was actually a really good mid-ground on their part. They actually don't respect the body press there. Wait, why did they go for second noise there? I'm confused. I don't know why they did that. Maybe they'll fear Shadow Ball here. Okay. They'll go for Stealth Rock. I don't think that got them much of anything. Now they're forced to sack, I think, or at least sack damage on this. I actually don't think Bronzong probably dies. Max special attack. But Gastrodon probably gets to KO'd with Burn. Breloom dies from that percent. And Monkey Dory, even if it doesn't die, will just allow an Altaria again. Unless they hit a Focus Blast. I sort of wish I had Shadow Ball on this set, actually. But, I don't know. Basque Legion's such a cool mon. And it can do a few different things, but you always wish you had a different thing from what you have. So, you could have Liquidation, but sometimes you want Aqua Jet on the Scarf Basque Legions. Just because Aqua Jet priority is nice, and like my team has no priority at all. So having any form of priority probably would be good. Okay, so they live that. Actually, I'm just gonna go for a Wave Crash here, because my opponent should be able to just Earth Power here, right? I have to like get a crit here. That's not gonna happen. Alright. And if I had been the Mold Breaker, then I wouldn't have had that problem, but also I probably would have missed out on a KO or two. So that's what you get for switching over to the adaptability. You immediately load into Gastrodon. Very annoying. Alright, I'm gonna lead off with Basque Legion here because it is pretty decent as a lead. We'll just put Altaria as Zoroark. If you're not swapping out, like Zoroark can be either Scrafty or Basque Legion on this team. Sometimes it's okay as a Mungus, but not the best usually. Because the Mungus doesn't make people switch necessarily. The Mungus only makes them switch when you switch into it, and then you see how little damage it actually does. And then Incineroar and Altaria both are heavy duty boots. And Incineroar, of course, has Earthquake. So not the best disguiser. And I'm not really sure about Zoroark's role on the team. I do like it as a trick mon, but it isn't really the strongest besides that. Alright, let's see now if this is Scarf. And it is Scarf. Scarf Monkey Dory is pretty normal for a lot of teams. Just gonna go here now. I'm going to double into Basque Legion because that covers the Bronzong pivot, and it also covers them staying in to go for Zen Headbutt or something weird. Right, I could go into Incineroar, predicting them to go Bronzong. That would make a lot of sense. But they could go their own Incineroar because they think that beats Amoonguss. Or what have you. Because I'm a Ghost type, I doubt they're going to Body Press here. So I think that we will go into Zoroark now. And then we're going to just click the trick. Since we're disguised as Altaria, they probably still won't Body Press. They'd probably go Sylveon, if anything. Which, again, that's another Pokemon that maybe is not the best to have locked into choice specs. Because it's so strong. But who knows? I do like the power of the choice specs because if you look at this team, Altaria is passive, Amoonguss is passive, Incineroar is not the most passive, but it definitely doesn't exude great offensive pressure. Scrafty is your late game win con, and Basculegion, while it is strong, is not Mystic Water or anything like that yet. Okay, when they do go Sylveon, that's fine, that's what you expect. Now we go Amoonguss and we pray that we can live to Specs Hyper Voices, and it looks like we can. Now I'm going to Foul Play. I expect them to go into Bronzong, as they do. And here I will actually go Altaria now, because I don't want to take a Psychic Noise or Body Press or anything like that. And then we can Will-O-Wisp. And then the Will-O-Wisp will allow us to start chipping the Sylveon down. Or not. Okay, I need to keep my Amoonguss around. Well, there you go. I did not expect them to double, but they did do that. I'm going to go to Incineroar here. And then I'm going to click the Will-O-Wisp, hoping to catch the Sylveon that's trying to get knocked off. Or maybe Flygon, or actually Tauros, because they do have a Tauros. But I actually figured they'd go Sylveon there, because it's so obvious of a play. Which is also another problem with this team, is I have double knockoff, and there's some crazy anti-synergy going on here, where this goes for knockoff, this goes for knockoff, and then I've got a trigger. But I do think it's okay to a certain extent, just because... actually, we can defog. Because, like, I know that Sylveon's locked in, and I'm not going to... Okay, yeah, they go for Wish there. And because they go for Wish now I can go into whatever I want. And I'm going to go into Scrafty, because I know they're going to go Bronzong. Very obvious play, right? And once I'm bulked up, I don't think that Flygon can beat me unless there's Specs Earth Power. Okay. I'm going to go into Amoonguss here, because it's not a favorable matchup. Because yeah, if they go for their own bulk up, then that really just stops my Amoonguss from doing anything. Okay, go Incineroar. We go for Flare Blitz. I've shown Will-O-Wisp before, so they may be afraid of that. And if they decide to go Sylveon, that could be a problem for them. They are not afraid. They do not care. No Bronzong. We'll go Altaria this time. I'm not a fan of taking another Body Press. Alright, we're gonna Roost here. Now I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp. My opponent does not respect the burn. And now I'm gonna go Basculegion. We're gonna flip turn out. And then we'll go Zoroark, I think. because they go Tauros. And that Tauros is getting whittled. So what I need to do is apply more pressure on any turn that Sylveon might come in because I don't want them to wish. It's really good that we choice locked the Sylveon, I think. So I'm really happy about that. But at the same time, you know, it's strong. But yes, we got that off. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to, yeah, okay, they switched out. I wasn't sure if they would or not. They go for body press. Gonna flip turn out again. Last time they went Paladin Tauros, and they did again. We'll just always Sludge Bomb, because we really don't want that Sylveon coming in. I'm gonna go Zoroark this time, because the past few times they've been doing that, yeah. And now I get the Flamethrower. They don't know I have it. And I don't think it'll kill. But if they stay in, then they die. And if they go Paladin Tauros, that's not what I meant to click. I did not mean to click trick, I meant to click U-turn. That was a misclick. But now, their Sylveon is basically dead. So, that's very good. I'm once again going to go Basculegion here, because they're not doing anything with that Psychic Noise. I'm not too concerned about that. If their Sylveon comes in on anything, it will die, because it's burned. So they shouldn't be able to trick anymore. The only way they can, the wish is what I meant to say. They shouldn't be able to wish at all. So actually I'm going to start foul playing to start chipping this Bronzong down, because that'll start doing damage over time. Go Basculegion. I could go Altaria, roost off the damage and whatever. But I'd prefer to take this more offensive angle just because I don't want to deal with them going for Iron Defense and then me having to figure out how to outplay it or whatever. Now, another downside to this particular team is it doesn't really have much in the way of longevity outside of Amoonguss and Altaria. Right, everything else on this team sort of gets chipped down. I guess technically the Scrafty does not get chipped down, but it's not really the best. So you gotta watch out for that. I'm gonna go Zoroark. This is probably a throw or something. This is not like the Bronzong beats the Altaria 1v1 now that it's burned. But I figured they'd go for Psychic Noise there. That seemed like what kind of play they would make. And we're just chipping down this Tauros again. The Tauros cannot do anything while the Amoonguss is alive and healthy. And my Scrafty can't do anything while the Tauros is alive and healthy. So we're just gonna have to make this sequence continually until we can start getting progress. Fortunately, my Altaria we're keeping healthy, so the Incineroar shouldn't be able to beat that. Their Monkey Dory is a little bit of an annoyance, but technically Scrafty might beat that favorably. I'm not sure about that. Also, how much is my Incineroar? Yeah, it barely has any health left. So, yeah, we'll see what my opponent does here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they went Monkey Dory there. I think they were just going through the math themselves on this point. I'm gonna go Zoroark. As they go for U-turn. Fair enough. That's a pretty good play on my opponent's part. You're scarfed, you threaten me with a psychic move, you want to make me switch, you're just going to U-turn out. And if I stay in, you can just go into whatever, it doesn't really matter. Alright. Gonna go Mungus. The first impression, which is not really the best Flygon set, I would say, at the moment. Not really liking that. I don't think you should be running Fimp. Like Fimp, U-turn, Terra Bug, sort of cute. And maybe it has a place at some points in metagames, but I would say not at this point in this metagame. That's just my opinion though. My opponent also has a Bronzong that they've been trying to get turns right with. And I think that maybe if they'd gone for Stealth Rock, they could have done more to pressure me. That's just sort of how I see it. I'm gonna go for the Roost here, just so I can stay healthy. And yeah, there we go. See, now they go for that. And so now I can go for the Defog. And my opponent doesn't go for Stealth Rock there, which was another misplay. So they definitely misplayed their Defog, or their Stealth Rock on the Bronzong, in my opinion. I don't think I need it. I think I don't need this because I don't want to be a poison type versus Flygon. Sylveon's dead. Monkey Dory, I don't necessarily want to be a poison type, and Incineroar will be fine. Okay, I don't know what the heck that was. That was another misclick on my part. Do I need the Altaria though? I don't think I do. So I think this actually could give me a Terra Poison bulk up. So I'm just gonna go for the Drain Punch here. Double Intimidate on their part is annoying, but it is what it is. And I figured, yeah, I barely take any damage, so I'll take the +1 defense and the 9% chip. I think that's better for me. I don't know. At this point, I'm going to sack the Incineroar. They decide to go for Trick. That's fine. If they go for Psychic, then that just gives me the knockoff. Because if they go their own Incineroar, now I have knocked them off, which admittedly doesn't do too much. But, you know. Then I can go into my Scrafty and start bulking up. Which is not what my opponent wants. Actually, technically, I think Drain Punch is superior right off the rip. Now, in theory, they could be Terra Ghost, and I have fought a Terra Ghost Incineroar before with Scrafty. And you beat a 1v1, so that's fine. But then if they were Terra Ghost, I would lose this turn. But yeah. I'm gonna actually go into my Mungus here, because I don't want to take that Flare Blitz. And I didn't want to risk the Basculegion, because the Basculegion could be useful against the Flygon. They go Flygon here. Then I'm going to just Foul Play them. At this point, I can go and Wave Crash with Flygon. Would you be Scarf first impression? But that's a pretty crazy set, if you ask me, right? So they're not... I think what they should have done is sack the Sylveon. Sylveon is not doing anything for you unless they have Quick Attack. And so my opponent definitely could have played that game better. That being said, I barely won it, so I mean, I am not really one to speak. Yep, and they go for Psychic, so we can just go Zoroark here. And we'll just put Dark Pulse. Okay. And now we're fighting somebody with a lot of points, so they're probably going to beat me down, and they have Vaporeon. Vaporeon is interesting. I fought somebody earlier who had an ability shield on their Vaporeon, so even if I had Molt Breaker Basculegion, I still wouldn't break past that. They also have Toxicroak, so they must really hate Basculegion. I need to keep my Mungus healthy against the Hariyama for whatever good that'll do. Not sure what good that will do. The Mungus is also very useful against the Cinccino. So I'm going to lead off with Incineroar. And then Zoroark is going to be the Basket Legion. I'm just going to click Flare Blitz. Let me click Hurricane or something crazy. They don't, they just go Vapo. Okay, I'm gonna go Mungus. This is an opener. You don't want to do anything too crazy on your opener. And then I'm gonna go back into Incineroar because it's obvious that they're gonna go into their Bronzong. I'm gonna start chipping down this Vaporeon. And by chipping it down, I mean I'm gonna go into my bulk up on the Scrafty. As they go for Alluring Voice and do no type of damage, which is sort of interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Alluring Voice on Vaporeon. It's very interesting though. Interesting and not necessarily in a good way. Interesting in the way that says maybe if they were a... Why? I keep on meaning to click the Terra button and then I keep missing the Terra. And then I click my move. In this case it's no harm no foul just because I live and I can always rest up on the Bronzong or even on the Vaporeon. That's very annoying. I don't know why that is. Okay. Now I'm just gonna click Foul Play because they're gonna go Bronzong there. Be obvious. Okay. I'm gonna Parting Shot. I'm gonna go for the Terra Poison Rest because I don't want to take this Alluring Voice if they decide to go for it. As they do go for Alluring Voice there. I'm just gonna try to sleep this off. Oh, snap. Okay. I clicked too quickly there. It was really obvious that they were gonna go for the Cinccino play. I should have always Drain Punched. That's my fault. Hopefully it'll make my opponent think that I'm not that bright. Or something. Scrafty time! Bulk up. This Earthquake? Maybe I should Scout. Voltar, yeah. Scout for the Earthquake. Because apparently that was not the play to make. Okay. And a trick here. They Sucker Punch, then they'll be not too happy about that. And then this is locked into Choice Specs now. Now I'll take that. Hey! And I'll absolutely take that. I'm sure my opponent's very mad about that. Alright, now U-turn here into the Mungus. We do get knocked off, which, you know, is important to note. But I think that should be okay. The Vaporeon's getting low. The Bronzong is not. Go Incineroar again. So at this point, because their Toxicroak is locked into whatever move they have, they can't do much with that. And the next time we get that Vaporeon in, they're not going to be too happy about that. Good double on my opponent's part. As they go for Gunk Shot. I'm going to do some amount of damage. But my Mungus still lives. And if they go into Cinccino, I'm going to Foul Play them. And this is one of those times where you wish you had Aqua Jet. For sure. I'm going to sack the Incineroar. They go for knockoff there. And then I'm going to go for my own knockoff here. Unless we don't get that, that's okay. Here, I think that they're going to stay in, but they do not. But I am okay with that because that gives me my Scrafty back in, right? This time we are going to click the Drain Punch. We're not going to let their Cinccino come in. Which is what I should have done last time. Now, if my opponent's really smart, they'd go Cinccino here, but they're not. Alright, I'll bulk up now. Fine. Gotta start doing more damage. Yep, saw that one coming. Just because I'm burned doesn't mean I'm in trouble as a Scrafty, because I can always get that Shed Skin. And you know what? I think that's the perfect game to end this video on. We started off with some rough going, but this was a really good game and really showcased bulk up Scrafty. I love how Scrafty plays in this current generation. I know it's been doing the same thing for a long time, but just the added benefit of having Terra Poison, I think, has made bulk up and Dragon Dance Scrafty both very potent. And I started off, I made a previous video on PU with Dragon Dance Scrafty, but I've really been liking how bulk up Scrafty plays in Enyo. So a big fan of that. The triple dark combo does put in work, right? I just threw 3 dark types on my team, and there wasn't ever really a time where I looked at my opponent's team and it's like, oh man, I can't beat it. I think with Mian Xiao being gone, that really helps, right? Because we had a Mungus, we were able to beat the Water Tauros. I think if my opponent had Fire Tauros, that might have been more difficult for me. I would have had Altaria for it, and we could have chipped it down in that way. But the not great options for fighting types currently in the tier, probably I like Flamigo the best currently. But that does make this triple dark core, I think, more viable here. And the Mungus really complements triple dark. Toss the Ghost on, toss the Poison on, toss the Flying on, and suddenly the triple dark works just fine. Anyway, that'll be it for me today, and I'll catch you guys next time.